I might give you a quick rundown on the lift that we did on the Transit. We did end up going with a Van Compass Topo 2.0, which is a 2-inch lift. It replaces the front springs with a Sumo spring set, and it does have a top mount spacer. We opted to go ahead and replace the struts while we were in there as well, since we had the suspension already apart, and ended up going with the Bilstein B6. Those Bilsteins will actually give you, if I remember right, about a 1/4 inch more of height. And so you can see here the guys are working with that with the strut on the original strut here to get it off, and apparently it's pretty stiff. Right from the factory, the van only has about 200 miles on it at this point, and they're had a little trouble getting that strut out. The strut actually bolts in, and through the top you have to go in through the doors, the front doors, peel the carpet back to access the bolts to undo the top part and put that spacer and everything. But the guys really didn't have much trouble doing it at all. It worked out pretty good for them. You know, a big thank you to those guys at S&P Automotive. They're a local shop near where we are that works on our other vehicles, has worked on the Tacoma a few times, and they were very excited about it. We also put new wheels and tires on the van. You can see here they're mounting and balancing one of the wheels and tires. We did end up going with the BFG 265/75 16s and Method wheels. Those wheels, you can't just get any wheel on these vans. These vans are heavy, they carry a lot of weight, so the wheels have to be ready to carry that amount of weight. So keep that in mind if you decide to do something like this as well. Here they're changing out the springs and the struts. You know, you have to collapse that spring to get all the components out of it, and here they are putting it back together with the new Sumo springs that are included in the kit and the Bilstein B6 strut. Now for the rear, at this time it is just blocks that go on top of the axle. You can get a kit that replaces the shocks, but we opted not to do that until we had the van built out and could come up with a more accurate weight on the van, because the rear shocks can be tuned to the approximate weight of the van. So that should be something that we'll add on later on. But you can see it's a simple block lift with new U-bolts, a solid steel block that goes on top of the axle and underneath the leaf there. We did do an alignment on it, which you should always do anytime you do any kind of suspension work, especially front suspension work. The alignment will get everything back up and trued. Got the wheels on it there, and it's really starting to look pretty good. We're pretty happy with it at this point, and when they lower it down and those tires hit the ground, it really does look good. Makes it look a lot beefier and more rugged, and we're pretty happy with it.
That actually looks really good.
The clearance on the front and rear tires is pretty tight. On the front, you do have to do some slight trimming, as the guy's doing here. On the inner trim, the pinch weld has to be cut back just a little bit. Overall, the van turned out pretty good on the suspension. We're happy with the ride. It does ride a lot better. And so we're going to keep on trucking toward getting it built out, and we're going to bring you along as much as we can.